What are the main challenges that I need to solve as a company trying to apply AI to help my business? In this episode, I have a conversation with an organization that provides an AI platform to help you overcome those.
Welcome to ClickAI Radio, where you'll learn the secrets to transforming your small to medium business. Grant has been helping businesses transform using technology for over 30 years. Advanced technologies like artificial intelligence have been available only to large companies and advanced technical teams. Grant will discuss how you can use to leverage AI and other technologies to grow your small to medium business. As a gift, Grant is offering his ebook, AI for Sales Growth, at clickairadio.com. Now, here's your host and biz tech geek, Grant Larsen.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of ClickAI Radio. This is Grant Larsen, and today I have someone that I bumped into not too long ago. I was at a conference and literally went to their booth and said, "Oh, I want to learn more about this technology. I've been tracking your team, your organization, so it's my chance to learn more about it." And so I got to meet Atalia Horenshtien. I hope I said that right. I'm so excited to have Atalia here with me today. So first of all, A, welcome, Atalia, and B, did I say your name right? And then C, first question out of the box, explain the meaning behind your name.
Thank you so much for having me, and you actually pronounced the name correctly, so kudos to you on this. The meaning behind my name. So first of all, thanks to my parents for choosing such a unique name. It's actually a Hebrew name. I'm originally from Israel, and Atalia, and in Hebrew we pronounce it as Atalia, is actually the first queen in the Judaism kingdom. So it's a name from the Bible. And it's actually very unique even in Israel.
Very cool. Really. The queen in the Bible. All right, I'm going to have to go look that up. That's awesome.
You should.
That's very cool. Do we bow in your presence then? Do we do anything like that? Do we say, "Hey, this is," because this is such a
No. Not at all.
Not at all. Excellent. Well,
No.
Thank you for taking the time here today. Now, as I understand it, I want to make sure I get this right. Your title in your organization is Global Technology Product Advocacy Lead. I actually had to write that down because I can only remember three things, and that's 5 words in a title. Global Technology Product Advocacy Lead for Data Robot. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's actually correct.
What do you do in that role?
So with Data Robot, I started as a customer-facing data scientist, where I work with customers in different industries and helping them how to solve complex AI and machine learning problems. And learning from this role and those use cases, I shifted a bit towards to the advocacy side. So how we tell the technical story of Data Robot, how we educate the market about what's possible. Some of the use cases I implemented, some of the stuff I saw, what we're working on, collaboration with our marketing, sales, and our customers as well.
Okay, got it. So that global part, I think, is critical because I'm assuming that you go across multiple markets. You're not focused on any one. I got to believe that gives you a sort of broader industry, cross-industry view on AI and machine learning. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I was very lucky to work with different industries in different geographical locations. And obviously, I see a lot of different trends and maturity around AI, where they are in the stage, how they adopt things, what's the process, their technical knowledge, their technical stage. So from United States to Europe to the Middle East, it's really, really interesting. And I'm very happy that I have the opportunity to do so.
That's awesome. What got you into this world? What got you into AI and machine learning?
Actually, it's a really interesting path because I started actually as a software engineer. not a as a data scientist. And over time, obviously, the software engineer, you work with software development, system design, etc. Some stuff that you see today in machine learning operations. And then when I did my master's, I was mostly specific around business intelligence and machine learning. And I learned a lot. It was super interesting. So I took my software skills into a different level. And it's a funny story because a professor of mine is actually working for Data Robot, and he's one of the main reasons I'm here.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. So was the professor already at Data Robot when you were? Oh, okay. Got it.
Yep. He's still here. His name is Ted Kwartler. He's a world-class person, both on the personality side and his technical knowledge. So I'm very fortunate to work with great people in the company.
That's fascinating. I have a similar journey myself, meaning I too came through the software engineering path and then sort of stumbled into through a whole range of things into the whole data science and ML AI space. So a lot of people certainly do that, but it's sort of a shift in the thinking, isn't it? The first time you come into the ML thinking, you're thinking about your data in a much different way and algorithms and such. You're like, wait, okay, I'm solving it much different, but I thoroughly enjoy that. All right. So I want to get to some of the things that are unique to Data Robot itself. I've worked with multiple AI and ML platforms. And as I'd mentioned in the intro, I've been watching and looking at Data Robot, watching your organization over time take on more and more capabilities. When you demonstrated the latest capabilities and gave me a sense of where things were going, it started me thinking, what are the main challenges when you think about the AI and ML world and the problems that are in this space? What are the main challenges that we face? And ultimately, I want to get to what is it that differentiates the way Data Robot does it in the market. But could you first start with what are some of the main challenges you see today, especially with your global perspective in the AI space?
Yeah, so I think the main challenge today around the machine learning lifecycle is how you move models into productions and how you make sure your models are still accountable and accurate with all the factors and the new reality that is coming up, right? And because today everyone can just build a scikit-learn model or simple, regression model. But when you work as an organization and you have different infrastructure, different tools, different skill sets, different personas within your team, and you localize the development side of it, and every model has completely different requirements. So you're getting to inefficient life cycle. So moving a model from development phase to production is a process that takes usually a lot of time, and it can be super complex. So something that I personally like about Data Robot, and this is something I learned from customers, right? That this is their biggest pain today, is having an ability to have a platform that will be interoperable and flexible around how to support models that were created in a variety of environments and languages, but also how to serve and manage and monitor models that were deployed to different endpoints, not necessarily to a data robot prediction server.
So sorry, just to interrupt there. That was one of the things when you showed me, I was fascinated with, which was this ability to bring in models produced from a wide range of platforms and tool sets, if you will, and still bring them into the management aspect. And I thought that was a critical characteristic around Data Robot itself. So when you do that work, when you bring those models in and you manage those, what is it that you're doing that makes that easier? It's helpful for me to have one place to bring those together, but B, what value then does that help me with as I try to update those and refactor those moving forward?
So it includes several aspects. So first of all, as you mentioned, you have a single place where you can see all your models, regardless where they've been created and regardless of where they've been deployed to. So like single pane of glass where you can see everything and being able to see at a glance which models are stale, which eventually preventing any risk to your business. Because it's not just about having the visibility to those models, it's also the ability to manage, monitor, and govern them. So what is the service health status of this model from the all endpoints, and what's the accuracy of the model, how it's changed over time, maybe some features that has been drifted. When you see those aspects, it's really helpful for you to understand. Maybe you need to retrain your existence project. Maybe you need to swipe your existence model with any challenger model, something that is performing better now with the new data that is coming up. Think about COVID. That can be a really great example, right? When you train models on certain data set, but then all the reality has changed. All the projects you did at that time are irrelevant today with the existence data.
Okay. Yeah. And this ability to see either the drift, like you said, or the staleness of that's such a critical capability. Is that a visual thing? Is it notification based? And how is it that you're being made aware of this?
So it's definitely a visual thing. So you have an ability to see on a specific time when something happened, but we're not expecting from people to go and consistently checking the platform. You can automate the whole process with notifications if you want to get notified that, let's say, above a specific threshold, you have under a specific threshold, you have a drift in accuracy, you would like to get a notification. And you can automate the whole process around retraining. What are the factors for retraining? So really looking to where are the areas we can automate the cycle in order to make the life of the user easier, but also, with how much we are saying, yes, we have AI and we have automation, you still need the man or the woman in the middle to approve this process, to be aware about this process. And there is still user intervention for some degree.
Okay. All right. So let's take a scenario. One of the current challenges around AI is this, data bias problem. So what I want to figure out is, let's say in my organization, I've got this bias that comes in. I'm not aware of it at the time I'm creating the model. There's no intentional harm here. But however, as we get into the production and rollout and its execution, it becomes obvious that the kinds of decisions or insights are certainly leaning a particular direction. What is it that helps me to discover or find that out and therefore ultimately correct that?
So that's a great question. I think ethical AI is one of the rising topics in AI, right? And mathematically, you can't create a model that is not biased completely. But there are some techniques on how to make sure that the model is more fair towards your sensitive features. And actually, there are some capabilities in the platform that really helping you, not just in production, actually, but also in development, where you can manage bias mitigation and tag those sensitive features and see in your development process already what's the bias and fairness around this specific project with those features that you chose, and then being able to seeing how the bias and fairness continues towards the production side where you have new data coming in. So you have an ability to tag it even before, and this is helpful for you to understand how to deploy the model into production and what are the changes that required in order to keep this model more fair.
So it's interesting that there's some capabilities in the platform that help you to identify potential bias factors or features along the way. Be mindful of that. Let's go to the far right side of this, which is, let's say we've done that work. We have the model produced. It's deployed. It's in production. How do I give feedback? Is there a way to say, A, what are my results of this model? And B, what are my end users potentially feedback on it as well? It's two different kinds of feedback. A, is the model giving me good insights or guidance? And then B, what about the end users themselves? And how do I get their feedback into there?
Are you asking in general about the model or specifically with the ethical side of it?
Either one. Yeah, I'm fine with either side of it. Yeah.
So on the ethical side of it, so we provide those visualization tools as part of our MLOps capabilities to track the bias and fairness on those sensitive features. So you can be certain that decisions that are made with the model are aligned with your technique that you applied during the development process. That's one thing. And obviously, if you see any changes over time, you can retrain your model. You can try out different things as part of your development with our bias and fairness techniques. And in overall, the insights you can get from a model, they are divided to two phases. On the development side, in machine learning, we're always talking about the predictions, but this is not really the main thing. Yes, we care about the predictions, right? But how we translate those predictions into business actions.
Exactly.
So having an ability to get explainable AI, this is something that I see all the time, especially with the business personas, the decision-making people. For them, it's really difficult to translate what is it AI model, right? So we provide some graphs to present insights and explainability on a model. For example, what are the main factors on a macro level that contributing to the model? So for example, let's take a churn use case, and you're looking to understand why customers are churning. And it's not just about, oh, this customer, the likelihood that this customer will churn is 0.7. What does that mean? Mm-hmm. So we know what's the factors. For example, how many times the customer maybe called to call center a lot, and maybe the customer's plan is very expensive. So some of the factors that really affect about if the customer is churning. So from a business perspective, we can decide, oh, maybe we should improve our customer service. Maybe we should reduce our pricing. So on a macro level to see those main factors, but also being able to dive into the micro level and check how a change of each one of the features is really impacting the target variable. So let's say if customer called twice or three times to customer service, how that affects the likelihood to churn. So this can be super helpful. And this is really where we add the explainability side to the predictions from the model. And the predictions themselves, at the end, when you move the model to production and now you have your data coming in, you look to score it, this is where you can integrate the predictions with your business applications. For example, Tableau, Power BI, all those business applications. So you can still continue and work with your existing business flows and tools as you like, and being able to generate decisions.
But I like is that you explained, or that you shared explainability as one of those elements that helps with successful adoption and usage of an AI model, an ML model. If we step back and given your experience with customer success, how would you net that? If you were to look at the patterns, both the good patterns as well as the anti-patterns around customer success, what have you noticed over time across lots of markets or industries, those success patterns for not only building the models, but actually getting the value and the outcomes from AI models? What have you seen?
So I think this is the $1 million question, because I always say that it's not enough just to purchase an AI machine learning tool, right? It's about if you use it, and if really models made it to production. This is how we at Data Robot manage our success, and we see ourselves as partners to our customers. We have an organization that is professional services that includes data scientists that helping customers on implementing the whole process. We have some AI success division where you have past consultant that currently working for a Data Robot that can do ideation sessions with customers and really looking to unlock the potential that they can get, and really helping them through the whole process with our professional services. So the process can be quite long and complex, and I think it really depends also in the maturity level of the customer, because based on their skill set, based on if they already have some models in productions, or if we just started a process, those things can affect about the process, because when you need to take into consideration existing infrastructures and models versus building everything from scratch, and maybe educate the people on what they can get from AI machine learning model. So this is a bit different between maturity. And I think everything eventually starts with change management. We see a lot of times, there is this very motivated executive buyer that is looking to change and include AI in the organization. But then how do you really convince the people that are working on a day-to-day basis that this is the tool that can really help them? And sometimes we see it even with data scientists that they still like to keep the hands-on and code by themselves without really trust any other tool. So this is where you provide some education with some courses on the platform, but also how you engage a model that is not like a black box, right? You have explainability, you have the process, you have documentation to really let the employees to trust the process and the output of the product.
So building that trust in that process sounds like the key thing there. Success stories. Is there a success story that you can share where you helped an organization go through this and realize some outcomes?
I can try to think about some of the success stories that are publicly with our company, right. as you know.
Right.
For example, we have a story from Stewart Healthcare. They are the largest for-profit private hospital that operates in the US, and they use machine learning to make big decisions about staff and patients, which eventually helping them to reduce cost and improve the patient outcomes and experience. And they already started the process and really decreased the cost as they wanted. So 1% reduction in registered nurses hours paid per patient day netted $2 million in saving per year for 8 of the 38 hospitals in Stewart's network. Wow. I think this is a great number and also a great effect. I'm always very happy when I see those stories around, hospitals and healthcare, which eventually provide better outcomes to society as well.
If you were a medium-sized organization looking at hey, how could I apply AI, ML to my business? What would you say to them in terms of adopting a platform like Data Robot? What would you say? What are the things that they should start doing?
So the process, in my opinion, divided for 3 main stages. One is the why. Look internally and think, okay, why we need to use AI? What are those use cases that I'm looking to solve? And what will be the expected improvement or ROI from those use cases? Once we define those use cases, the next question will be the how. Okay, we defined the why, now how we implement it. So understand the skill set that they have in-house, and then define what to outsource versus what to build, buy versus build, right? And then choose the right tool and start the implementation. And when you start the implementation, the end result will be the what. Once we have the model in production, so what are the outcomes that we are getting, and how we are making sure that the models are still accountable with our business. And always start small. Start with one use case, just prove that it works. We have adoption across our organization, and then it's going to be like a waterfall, because many times one use case can really amplify the rest of the use cases and create motivation, and some of the outputs of one model will go to another use case, and so on.
Have you gotten a sense of the general amount of time, or is there a pattern? In other words, let's say I get started today. Can I expect to see outcomes in 3 months, 6 months, a year? Where is that set?
I've seen it all. I've seen organizations that can do it quickly within really 2 months, and I've seen organizations that are still stuck. Because if we're going back to what I said earlier, it really depends also in the organization itself, right? If you have a blocker from the IT or from the data scientist, or maybe some requirements that you still need to implement and you didn't, and where is it around your prioritization? So it really depends. And also, let's be realistic. It's not just I've decided today, let's start with AI and machine learning, and it can work, right? I need to have a specific state of my existence data so I can really produce a better outcome, right? Today, with data-centric AI approach, as your data is more clean and organized and relevant, you will have better outcomes on your model. So you need to be in certain of a data transformation process with your organization's data to really start.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that, Atalia. Thank you so much for taking your time here today with me. Any last comments before we wrap?
Just audience, don't afraid to start, don't afraid to ask questions. I always like to say at the end, are you smarter tomorrow than yesterday? Because as we evolving over time, I was 3 years old, and then I'm 10. Obviously, I'm gonna be smarter over time as I'm growing up. But in the small resolution, are we smarter tomorrow than yesterday? Think about that. Try to think how you can be more innovative, how to make your life easier, and how to do some changes within the organization and with yourself to develop and achieve great outcomes.
That's a growth mindset. I love that, right? Which is always learning. Our learning isn't capped, and let's focus on what are the things we can take moving forward to improve our environment, our situation, the people we serve, and those around us. All right. Atalia, thank you so much for your time, and to your organization for allowing us to chat with you today. Everyone, thanks for listening to another episode of ClickAI Radio. And until next time, go check out Data Robot.
Thank you for joining Grant on ClickAI Radio. Don't forget to subscribe and leave feedback. And remember to download your free ebook. Visit clickairadio.com now.